good morning, good evening, good night, wherever everybody's starting. So it's been my long time thinking that I should have a learning through discussion platform where how richer learning can be when you have a discussion, you share your knowledge, share your thoughts. So thank you so much, Jeyashree, for joining in today. Um,
My pleasure.
so you have been working in your own field. So a childhood memory of yours that has shaped you to who you are today.
Yeah. Many thanks to my friend Aparajita for giving this platform. This is such a wonderful platform to definitely share, discuss, and open up topics which are generally not that prevalent when it comes to the common public. So thanks so much for that. So if I talk about a memory specifically, it's been a journey, I would say. The first 17 years of my life, the childhood and my school going years, it happened in a culturally rich environment. With
Okay.
the entire childhood period, I would say, has been very memorable and instrumental in whatever I do today. Both my parents were very geared towards strict daily routines with daily
Mm,
prayer, and that gave a lot of security. As a child, I got a lot of security in that. They made everything consistent and more
okay.
predictable for me.
Beautiful.
For
Actually,
both
discipline gets built up, no? Like when
built
you
up.
form, when you are, hanging on to your routine.
Yes. So they were very particular about that. And another important aspect during my childhood was my maternal uncle, late Shri T.B. Nagaraj Rao. He was extremely erudite, I would say, a scholarly person with
Mm.
vast knowledge in Sanskrit, physics, math, and he was instrumental in making me read from childhood. I mean, I became a voracious reader because of him, because he wouldn't leave us
Okay.
sitting idly. Always there was something to read, something to learn, something to
Oh,
know. So he
okay.
was
So
instrumental.
read in the sense what genres?
Everything. He used to give us Tintin, he gave us comics, he gave us books
Uh,
on war, books on science, experiments, everything. And he used to talk a lot, explain a lot about his journey in life and things like that. So such scholarly environment was something which I really thank for, because that developed a habit of learning. I mean, you
mm.
don't resort to something for pleasure, but reading itself gives you that kind of
Yeah,
environment.
the oxytocins for the body.
Yes. And then another important thing, I would say, I'm ever grateful to my father for exposing me very early in my life to Vedanta as
Mm.
an understanding, and his guru, Puja Swami Dayanand Saraswati. So all these were,
Okay.
how do I say, they were instrumental in shaping whoever I am today. I'm ever grateful to all these experiences and memories of childhood.
Beautiful. Culturally rich
Yes,
background.
definitely. Yeah, yeah,
Wonderful. All right. So that's just making us move into further. So what's your instant mojo? A quick burst of energy, confidence, or a spark that helps you feel motivated, creative, or ready to perform at your best. So
yeah,
I would want you to say how do you get it and
yeah.
how do you keep it? And in case you lose it, how do you bring it back?
um, okay. So if I have to say that, I grew up in a very, very musical environment. Authentic Carnatic music was part of my daily life, I would say. I mean, entire childhood. Every day we used to listen to a concert of Vidwan Yesudas, Vidwan TV Shankar Narayanan. I mean, lot of authentic Carnatic music.
Wow.
I mean, why I say that is I drew a lot of inspiration from great musicians also. So music is my instant
Definitely.
mojo.
Okay.
So
Wow.
music
Carnatic
of
music.
yes, music is something gives me the energy, which makes me perform, which brings me out of my lull. So music is the thing, I would say.
Beautiful. So now I got the answers to all my questions. So how do you keep it? Listen to music. How do you get it back? Listen to music.
Yes, yes, because in any at any moment, in any given situation, you have access to that. So that gives a
Mhm.
lot of energy to perform, to act, to come out of any dullness. And that is a beauty, I think. That is stood with me since my childhood till now.
Wow, it's just amazing. So because I also partly enjoy Carnatic music. So
Yeah.
all right. So to start off, I think our audience here, so our audience, we'd love to, be on camera so that we can have it as a discussion. So, Jeyashree, and there's someone also coming in. Let me just admit them. So, there's another Jeyashree here, and
Oh,
Sweetie is here. So we'd
lovely.
love to have the audience on camera, or you can post your questions. You have something to ask Jeyashree, or we'll go ahead. Okay, I think they can take their time and come. In the
Yeah.
meanwhile, let's start off with what first drew you to the work that you do, Jeyashree?
Um, Actually, what had happened was when I was just in my grade 8, I was just 13, my grandmother had a hip fracture.
Hmm.
And that was the time I knew who a physiotherapist was. A physiotherapist by name Dr. Rajendran used to come home to treat her.
Hmm.
And from her bedridden state, he made her walk. And she was
Ah.
80. And I was witness to the entire process as a school going girl. He used to come in
Hmm.
the evening, first give her wax bath for the hip and thigh, and then give her a lot of exercises, then made her stand, walk. And so this journey of my
Hmm.
grandmother and the therapist coming home,
Okay.
that left a strong impression. And maybe that was the time I also decided maybe my career is going to be this. It was too
Wow.
early, but still I think
Hmm.
I pursued it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that journey of my
So the
grandmother,
minute
I think,
details
was
that you
also the
went through
deciding
during
factor.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The the
then ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, everything was more towards, and the journey began there.
Beautiful. Very nice to know. So, when you hear the word neurodiversity, so what does it mean to
Mhm.
you? Not as a professional, but as a person. Because see, I have no idea what it means. So,
Ah, okay. Okay. So the word neurodiversity actually tells us that there is a possibility that our brains can function differently, neurodiverse. Our nervous system, our brain can function differently
mm,
and perceive the world differently. This is if I put it in a very common man's term, it is the possibility that each brain is different and the brain can perceive the world in different ways and function in different ways.
mm,
But as a professional, if I have to go a bit more into it,
mm,
so as a child develops, even in the mother's womb, the fetus, and immediately after the delivery, the infant, the toddler, the journey of a child, there is growth and development in all parts of the body. Same way, the nervous system also develops.
okay.
But the developing nervous system need, need not follow the same pattern in everybody. It it actually develops differently in few children. And that is what we see as neurodiversity. And
Okay.
commonly, the terms associated with neurodiversity is autism, persons with autism, children with attention deficit hyperactivity, children with learning disability. But it is not just confined to these.
Okay.
All
Down
other,
syndrome. You have Down syndrome also.
yeah, all other neurodevelopmental conditions, which means that in the developing brain, whenever there is an injury, whenever there is an assault, which is at the time of birth, before the birth, or even after the birth, anything.
Okay.
So, neurodevelopmentally also, if this diversity can be seen, and most commonly, it covers it's an umbrella term covering autism, ADHD, learning disabilities, and other neurological conditions, developmental conditions.
Okay.
So, what happens? So, generally, the way they understand the world, the way they think, the way they understand things, perceive things, and also respond to the world, everything is different.
Okay. From their perspective and to the world as well.
World as well. So, actually, if as a society, if we are aware of neurodiversity, and if we are sensitive to these differences in the way people develop, we can create more inclusive environments. So, the environment in which we live, that poses obstacles, making it difficult for them to merge with the environment. So, it is something like, to give you a very simple example, understandable example, people using wheelchair cannot travel in public transport, not because they can't. It is because the buses do not have ramps.
Okay.
You get it? They are mobile. They can move around. They can go wherever they want. If only the environment had ramps, enough ramps to help them navigate to various spaces. This is just a very simple example of what I mean by environment. Similarly, people with neurodiversity, they perceive the world differently. So, to give you another example, for a child with autism, they get what is known as a sensory overload.
Okay.
If it is too bright, if it is too noisy, they are not able to accommodate in that environment. If we have a calming space with noise cancelling headphones, and if we can make them comfortable in a place, they also know how to adapt there and manage their overload. But not having such spaces makes it difficult for them to participate in society.
Got it. Wonderful.
So,
All right.
this
So
is some roughly about what neurodiversity
we're
is
just
and what we
starting
need.
on the topic. All
Mm.
right. So Jeyashree, you're on camera. Jeyashree Chalappa, do you have anything more to add to what Jeyashree is talking of, or do you have something to ask her?
Actually, I would like to know more about this mind-body connection. How neurodiversity, in my understanding, is the way how the brains of neurodivergence, they are wired differently. This is what I've been learning. And so also there is some kind of disconnect, in that between their minds and body. So that makes them really take lot of effort from their side to, find where their own body parts is with respect to the space around. So what happens is, in my understanding, the brain, for a normal person, means, as in, like, who's not a neurodivergent. So for them, the brain doesn't have to put so much effort, to establish the mind-body connection because it happens naturally. The wiring happens naturally. But here, the brain's effort goes lot into that, and so it doesn't really have that functionality perspective with respect to other things like speech, understanding and recognizing or reading others' mind. The effort, the brain doesn't really have the time, or the brain cannot spend so much energy into that. So because it is still establishing the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
And so I'm recently I was introduced to theater arts and I have not really experimented with my child, but I've started developing interest, to know more about theater arts, wherein it has to deal more with expressions, emotions, relating the child relating to everything in terms of that particular wavelength, like trying to connect the world. So see, if you write in a paper, the bird is flying over the tree, it doesn't mean anything, but there has to be some imagery connected to the content. So I'm interested in knowing more about how to invoke that, or how to wake up that part of them, which so that they can open up their minds to that. Those connecting themselves.
I got it. So this is a journey in itself. So what you're asking right now. So that is the reason when we understand neurodiversity, it becomes very, very crucial. We also understand child development. Okay. Neurodevelopment, basically. So the first thing to happen as soon as the child is born is the changes in the sensory motor development of the child. That is the most important and the most basic foundational thing. As soon as a child is born, as soon as the child comes, the first perception of ground, the floor, that makes it very, very important for them, because through the various senses, they start understanding the environment from the moment they are born. Okay. So the senses and the motor, the movement, the sensory system and the motor system, they form the foundation of child development. So for a child to develop a theory in mind, to get an imagery in mind, to develop what, as Jeyashree said, the body awareness. Where is my arm? How is it connected to my body? What comes after head? What is head? What is leg? All this, nobody is teaching a child, and the child is born. Through movement, through association with the environment, the baby is learning about his or her own body. So, making them more and more enriched in both the sensory and motor systems in the first 2-3 years of life, that is crucial to developing an understanding of body, and then body's connection to the environment, and how they both form the bridge in the process of learning. This is crucial. Now, we will talk about it. When we talk about early intervention, what it means, then most of this is answered. And also, even if the child missed early intervention, there are many families where parents do not know that the child is showing certain symptoms and we need to start something. They do not know.
Yeah, which is very common, because when children are small,
By the time they try and understand, so need to start from giving inputs to the sensory motor system and building on the child's learning of the environment, and then moving in the journey towards higher order perception and thinking. So then there is a beautiful connection between the child's own self and the relationship with the environment. Okay.
Okay.
So it is slightly a larger topic. Maybe we can touch upon it as we proceed.
Beautiful. Okay. So Shilpi is here. So Shilpi, do you have something to share, or before we go forward in the session?
Really want to congratulate that we are talking on this topic, which is something very untouched. And as we are talking about creating an inclusive environment, I really feel that this is somewhere it's time that we should talk about all these things and these challenges of children. And I'm really happy to be part of this session. My question is not a question, but I really think and reflect that as you given this example of visible, that something is visible, that somebody is not able to walk. So we give that sensitivity towards them because it's visible. The similar way, there are spectrums where the child is absolutely visibly, we can see that that child is struggling. I am struggling with where it is not visible. It's a kind of a spectrum is there, which is sometimes visible, sometimes not. And then it is really difficult to make environment or people understand that there is something which need attention and care and love from our side. Is my question, which is like we talk about neurotypical, but where there is a just a touch of something, how to go about it is my
yes. Thank you so much for that question, ma'am. Generally, children with specific learning disabilities, when we talk about dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, these are all how do I say, various types or subdivisions of divisions within specific learning disability, various categories, if we have to say that. So especially in specific learning disability, it is called an invisible form of neurodiversity. It is, as she rightly put, it is not visible. When we see these children, when we talk to these children, we'll never come to know that they are going through a difficulty. But these difficulties emerge only when there is a component of reading or writing or arithmetic or coordinated movement. Okay? So only when they are exposed to letters and numbers, they start struggling. Otherwise, in our day-to-day life, they have all the skill sets. They are socially extremely good. They are empathetic. They are very kind, and they are so intuitive. They understand people so well. They communicate well. Everything is nice. But then when it comes to reading, writing, they struggle. And so, but then this is a genuine difficulty. They are not able to see the letters, their forms the same way as others. They are not able to write. They struggle to do. But if there is no sensitivity in the environment, then what happens is it is considered to be laziness. It is considered to be avoidance. It is considered to be distracted mind.
More importantly, ma'am, they do not know how other people see those letters. Like,
correct.
That is the point here. That's the point here. See, for example, I do not know, like, say if someone is colorblind, okay, so they for them, they are not able to, the colorblind people are not able to see all the colors. But for them, they are able to see, they know some colors, but the world is very dull. Like, the trees are not green, the seawater is not blue. And the saddest part in that is they do not know how, what other people enjoy, like what they are able to differentiate. That lack of what do I say, that makes it the most saddest part. Like,
Yeah.
So even with
And
these
the most
dyslexic
important
kids,
thing, thank you so much for bringing that. And children with specific learning disability, especially in the early years, like when they are in their nursery, KG, grade 1, grade 2, they do not even know that others are perceiving the world differently. Others are able to see and write, see and read. They do not know that. They do not even know that they are struggling and constantly get complaint that you're lazy, you're not reading or anything like that is also
labeling.
triggering them because
They
they don't
get
understand.
labeled like that. And
And
in fact, at some stage, they start accepting, oh, maybe I'm dull. Oh, maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I'm not that intelligent. So that
So
wrong labeling gets correct.
not even the child, but the caretakers are also taking
Caretakers.
it.
Yes.
"Ye shaitan hai, he's not able to do, oh, he's not focusing." So we as a parent or teachers also take a lot of time to decide that we have
yeah,
to take some other path instead of just pushing that write more because you are not able to write.
yeah.
Another
And one important thing is this is the transformation that has to come. Many a times the adults in more often than not, we come with our own ideas of what should be, how the child should be, how the child should perform, should act. So this, our own preconceived notions and our own baggage, that makes us not see the child as he or she is. Because we come with that strong emphasis on aise he rehna hai. This is the way the child should read. So we are not allowing the child to show us what he or she is without our instruction. Because the moment we see, then we know that the child is not avoiding, the child is not lazy. We can clearly see that. But because we don't allow ourselves to see what the child is, how the child is, we want to come up with our own ideas of aise hi hona hai. This is the way things should. So this is the most important thing to know for us as adults in the child's life, that we have to be open and we have to calm down and see what is in front of us without judgment. When we do that, we will not doubt the child. We can see their difficulties very soon and we can start helping them. But because we don't do that, we label with all the words that we now spoke about. So this is a journey
And
and this is
one
a
more
lot of
thing, there
effort.
are also set of parents, especially even in my case. I know my daughter has some difficulty. Okay, not that I was not able to believe that she is good, she is talented, but there is some difficulty in connecting with me, especially in the communication part. That I realize it well, but I do not know whom to contact. I do not know whether I have to meet a child specialist or a neurologist, or where do I start? Where do I start? Because see, I'm sitting here, my child is sitting here, so, but there is a screen between us. Because of that opaque screen, I'm not able to actually connect with her. So when she was like 2 years or 3 years old, she used to cry a lot. She used to cry, cry, cry. And I'm wondering why should a 3 year child? Because I already have an elder child, so I know, I have crossed that parenthood once. So when I had my second child at when 3 4 years, when she was old, she used to cry a lot. And so I was like, I couldn't I was helpless actually. Not that I really had an empathy for her. I really felt sad. I never felt what do I say, like I didn't have anything against my child or something. I know she is struggling, but I do not know where to start. Why is she crying? Why she is not able to connect with me? What is she trying to express? So there is really a huge, lack of guidance, lack of information, or lack of preset protocol. Like for example, if someone has a digestion issue, so there are set of blueprints of protocols which, like, you have to first look at your what food you had, and then you have to really do a analysis of what you had the past 2 days. So where did the digestion issue start? At least we know, like, at least we have some home remedies or something. But this is something which it is not around since past 50 years or 100 years. Like 40, 50 years back, I don't think the word autism was even coined. So the main challenge here to parents like me who would really want to help the child, who would really like to connect with the child, who really do not want to live with the child. I never wanted to live with the child. But we did not know. I did not know where to start. That is the problem. And I have spoken to her also whether she understood or not. You're struggling. I know you're struggling, but I do not know what to do. So that some parents like me are also there. Like
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Actually, when we talk about the journey of neurodiversity and when things started getting recognized, when professionals started creating research-based, evidence-based approaches and all that, autism was there earlier also. It is not that it was not there. But say 50 years back, 60 years back, it was not termed autism.
Okay.
It was just termed as some form of mental illness. And lot of care was around restraining them, medicating them, and things like that. But nobody understood why someone is behaving like this.
Institutionalizing those people. Attaching them to an institution.
They were institutionalized earlier.
Not bringing them
under the common label mental illness. And no specific understanding of autism per se. But autism per se after 1980, much of understanding that their sensory motor systems are perceiving it in very different ways, and theory of mind, how they understand the world, that all this research started much later. But before that, it was common. One mental illness, institutionalize, restrain them, put them, isolate them. That was the thought process. But lot is moved after that. Yeah.
Okay. Actually interesting. I mean, the more we deep dive, go into it. So I think I can get to now ask my thoughts here. Was there a moment in your journey when your understanding of children changed deeply? So what stayed with you from that moment?
Okay. Okay. So long back, I was an undergraduate. I'm talking about 2002. I was a fresh intern physiotherapist. I've completed my 4 years of physiotherapy, and then after our college graduation, we are supposed to go to hospitals and various centers for internship. So one such posting was in an orphanage. I did my graduation in Salem. So one such internship zone, 1 month posting was in an orphanage called Annai Teresa Illam there. It was an orphanage for children with cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a neurological condition where at the time of birth, the neurological, the brain is injured, and because of that, children are either paralyzed in one half of the body, paralyzed in both legs, or all 4 limbs, hands, legs, everything. So it's an orphanage for children. So that was my 1 month posting, and that transformed my practice, actually, I would say, because seeing the children, all very small children, like 2-year, 3-year, 4-year-old children, lying down helplessly with no movement in their body. And we started giving therapy for them, for their movement, for making them sit, walk. So that was a transformational moment for me, because I was like devastated, because I'm seeing children for the first time like that. And that was maybe the moment I told myself I should take my work seriously, and this is something that is going to go a long way. And till date, I will not forget that journey, that internship in that institution, because that transformed the way I wanted to work with children.
Interesting. When you know what to say, like even the thought, the way, no, the way nature actually, brings you into it.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
So there's Kamini, I think, had a question. Kamini,
Okay.
you would want to come on camera and then talk about it. She had put up her hand.
Yes, yes. So,
Please come
good
on.
evening, Jeyashree ma'am.
Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. So as I learned so many things from Jeyashree ma'am, so I think I'm a learner, and I love to be, learner all the time. So Jeyashree ma'am, just really, I really want you to put some light or a reflection on behaviors of an autistic child. Matlab, how the pattern keep on changing. They knew everything. They know what is right, what is wrong, but still knowing, having knowledge of everything, their action, towards the action, is somehow, I mean, very different. And especially in an school setup, especially with the colleague, with the with the
Right.
partner. So how we can work on that, and what are the strategies we can use in a school setup to help our child.
Yeah.
So I really mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So thank you so much. Thanks for that. So the first thing is, now we think as professionals working with them, we think that they understand what is right and wrong. They can discriminate good behavior from bad behavior. They know how to act in various situations. We assume that they know this. Why do we assume? Because in certain instances they show a lot of maturity, they show some understanding, and they do the right things. So we conclude that they know this really well, but what makes them show inappropriate behaviors in certain situations? So this is, as a professional, you get confused. Why is it that during some times they do all the appropriate things, but in some areas they do inappropriate things? So for that, we have to understand that if we think about the base of behavior as sensory motor development, a good sensory motor development is the base of any good behavior. If my senses are able to perceive the world well without any distortion, and then if my body is able to act according to all the environmental stimulus, my body is also able to function. But then the next level is how your brain is processing all the inputs. It is not just the body, the senses, and your movement senses, and your all the senses and motor alone is not sufficient. Next level is the executive functions.
Okay.
What is the executive function of the brain? It is the ability of the brain to be flexible, to change gears, to control impulses. So all this requires something more. They need lot of repetition to act in ways where they are able to control their impulse, decide on what is right and wrong, and then act accordingly. They may know things, but impulse control, changing gears, and acting appropriate to the situation requires lot of training, lot of practice, and lot of situational practice. It is like that role play. The role play that we do, right? Like, for example, if you're acting like a king, you need to practice acting like a king to come on stage. Similarly, for our children with autism, even though in some situations they are good, we cannot conclude that they know to discriminate right from wrong. No. Because even before discrimination comes impulse control. How do I control the urge to do something? Because the higher order says that in this situation, this is not appropriate. That travel in the brain, that this is right behavior. In this situation, this is the right behavior. And in this situation, now I want to do something like this, but this is wrong. Now I have to stop myself and act in ways which is right. For this, the brain requires a lot of training, lot of practice. And this is where empathetic approach comes, because when the child is not able to control impulses, and the child is not able to manage his or her own emotions first before expressing, okay, what do we do? The child is not acting appropriately. Then what do we do? That makes all the difference, because I'm telling you that this behavior needs practice. But if they see the environment, the caregivers, the professionals, the parents in the environment are acting in ways which strengthen their behavior, they will never let go of it. The environment has to be very calm, supportive, understanding, and give alternative ways of expressing in a calm way. Then with practice, they are going to learn what is right, what is wrong. But the moment we see inappropriate behavior and our reactions are harsh, or they put them up, put them down, they put them off, then they're not going to learn the right behavior. So
Also,
it is a journey. As I'm saying, it is a journey which is time consuming, but they are also learning from the environment. They need more opportunities to learn the right things. If they see adults shouting to change the behavior, then they are also going to shout whenever they are in distress. So this is something which we have to understand, and we should not conclude that the aspect of right and wrong, good and bad, appropriate, inappropriate is established in them. No, it is not established yet. It goes on till even late teens. It goes on in the early adulthood also. But till then, do we have the patience enough to show the right behavior so that they learn from us? So these steps we have to take care.
As a parent, what I have experienced is like, say we are going to some place, like say it is a crowded place, like a mall or a airport, wherein the noise levels are high. As a parent or the family as a whole, lot of briefing needs to be given to the child. Lot of contextual information about the place where we are going. Like, see, for a neuronormal or a normal person, they will know, like, okay, this place is going to be noisy because airport is a place where a lot of people come and go, and a lot of people chatter, and a lot of things happening, a lot of things moving around. So for these kids, or people with sound sensitivities, they may be neurotypical or neuronormal.
Yeah.
People are sensitive to sound. See, I myself, I'm very sensitive to sound. I do not like high volume music or something. So it is always better to prepare them mentally first to what kind of environment they will be exposed in another 1 or 2 hours, and how long it is going to be there. Like, we can give information like, see, it is only going to be a 2 hour thing. Like, you enter the airport, you go, put your luggage, get your boarding pass, go and undergo a security check, and then you go to the gate. And once you reach the gate, it is not going to be that noisy. Only, it is going to be just 1 hour of you do. So we can draw pictures. We can draw pictures, and we can show some YouTube videos of how noisy the airport is. So what's the context? See, a lot of times I personally believe that the behavior is triggered because they are not aware, or they don't see what is coming. So why they are not able to see what is coming is a different topic. But now that we are here, what can we do to elevate it, or what can be done to help them, support them in all the ways, so if you mentally prepare them, and in 1 or 2 trips, I think that your third airport trip will be much better for them. and for us as well.
Much better.
Yes.
True.
So the contextual
True.
information, lack of contextual information. See, for them, everything is black and white. There is no gray in between. See, the house is calm. The house is calm. The park is little noisy. The airport is much noisy because there are a lot of machines. There are a lot of luggages. There are the trolley belt is there. The helpers are going around. People are talking. A child is screaming. So like there are like zillions of people there with doing different work. So it is chaotic. It is chaotic. So for them, okay, the noise level at the house is like this, and noise level at the park is like this. The noise level of an airport is like this. So they do not know that they are at different levels, or their expectations. It is not tuned naturally to cancel out all the noises at different places. Adapt so that noise cancellation thing, that brain thing doesn't work like that. So this is the reason why when we take our children to such noisy places, they suddenly get triggered. They suddenly get they lose their control because that automation of brain is not happening. So what can be done? We will do whatever we can from our side to prepare them for that. Like it is going to be like this. And one more thing, what works is like we always need to come with a timeline. See, you start doing a task like, but it is only going to be for this many hours. You are not going to expose yourself in the airport throughout the day. So if it comes even for giving homework or asking them to write a multiplication table, you are not going to sit and write throughout the day. Another reason for the anxiety of the child is the child thinks that, oh my God, throughout the day my mom is going to make me do this. So that irritates them. So better come up with a timeline and say, you're going to write a multiplication table. Yes, I'm also going to sit and write with you, but we are going to write it only for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you can go on. So once you prepare them for the timelines, they do much better actually.
So it's a perfect example
in our school setup, in our therapy setup, even in classrooms, when they come for one-on-one, we give them what is called as a work time, break time schedule. Even within the period of 40-45 minutes, they have work time only for, say, 20 to 25 minutes. They have break time for the next 20 minutes. And it is not like 25 minutes of work and then 20 minutes of, no. After every 7 minutes, you get 2 minutes. After every 10 minutes, you get 3 minutes. So that way, we are also helping them to focus and unwind. Focus and unwind. So what I wanted to also say is that giving them structure is important, but most important is giving them a trusting environment where
so is this
they
a
know
perfect
that
example of
don't go according to structure, this place is safe for me. So that rapport with the professional, with the therapist, with the facilitator, with the teacher, educator, whoever it is, what happens is when, be it child with any form of neurodiversity, one is they need structure, they need predictability, they need to understand when what is happening so that they don't feel anxious. That is one. But the second thing is having a trusting environment makes it really easy for them, even when things don't go as per their plan, as per the structure, they still know that here I can be calm. So building that is the most important thing for professionals, I would say. Because
and it's also a perfect example of listening closely.
Yeah, correct. So if we talk about listening attentively, closely to children, you know what it actually means? It is calming first your own self and just being an observer of what the child is.
Okay, being an observer of what the child is.
Being open to what the child says, does not say, does or does not do. Allowing the child to be. This is listening closely, I would say. Definitely. This is listening closely. Then if we say that, if we leave the child just like that, and if we just listen to the child, where is the intervention? What are you doing with my child? Some parents may ask, some outsiders may ask, but to that, what I have to say is, I spoke about this trusting relationship, trusting environment. The trusting relationship and environment comes only when the child knows that I am heard. I am heard. When will it happen? When we are open to what the child is saying without stopping them, interrupting them, and without telling them this is the way it has to be done. First, understanding the child means just keeping our eyes, ears, all our senses open without judgments, without preconceived ideas, and allowing them to speak, and also being a participant there, not someone who directs, who guides. No, all these verbs don't have meaning there. You are just participating with them and you're open to what they say or do not say. It is not that they always say. Even when they do not say, that teaches us something. Are we open to that? Are we observant of that? That is important.
Got it. Interesting. So, so labels can guide support, but they also can limit perception. So how do you balance or navigate this balance?
Okay.
Ma'am,
So,
one question.
yes,
One
ma'am.
question.
Yes, most welcome, Shilpi.
It's not easy, no, to observe, to keep a patient listening ear. Is it easy?
No, I think you get used to the more you try to connect with your child, and when a child's well-being overtakes everything else in the life for you, when that becomes your lifelong mission, so it is doable. Nothing, I don't believe that, see, I will tell you something. Every child has a potential. Okay. Every child has a potential. Every child, I believe this. Every child has a potential. The major mistake the major drawback is what I see in parents is they keep on worrying about the child's weakness or drawbacks or what they do not have. Rather, we need to do a paradigm shift where we need to start exploring what are the strengths of the child. Because when the brain, actually it is not wired as it is supposed to be. I will not say any wiring is wrong. Okay, nothing is wrong in this world. Even any of these disabilities or what I would not even like to call this as a disability. They are different and they are able to. So anything which is the God, the nature actually balance it off with some strengths. So the major role that a parent plays is in discovering what their strengths are. So we need to start thinking it in a different angle. Like we need to start working with their strengths and trying to work with them along with their strengths. And if that strength gets sharpened, okay, any kind of drawbacks. I'm not talking about physical disabilities. Okay, I'm only talking about this neurotypical, neuronormal thing wherein a child might have a dyslexia, a child might have a speech and communication problem, a child might have a language disability. Any of these things, it gets overshadowed. It will get overshadowed. Say, what if a child talks less? It's okay. The child has to do more in the field. Say if a child has a natural talent for music, it's okay if the child talks less. Okay, so as long as there is some basic communication that is being developed, that's fine. So this is how I see it. So it is, see, easy or not easy, it all depends on how we approach it. Nothing is not doable.
Yeah, no, not only that, to be open, to listen without judgment, to listen without interruption, it is a practice for all of us. It is not easy. It is not only with children. Even you observe your own responses to other family members and other people in the society. Is your mind constantly talking? Or is it calm enough to first listen what the other person is saying? Because even before the other person speaks, we are prepared with our answers. So that has to stop. So
Yeah.
for that,
That's the
it is,
normal human mind.
yeah, it is regardless of your interacting with a child or an adult or anything. The ability to listen openly to what someone is saying, that itself requires a lot of practice. Leave alone children now. Children come later. So, but with time, with, how do I say, intention, we can build that. We need to be intentional about it. That yes, when someone is speaking, I am not going to prepare my answer in the head. That we have to stop. The moment we make it a habit to listen and be open to what we are going to talk also, because we are so scared that what might we talk. So let us prepare answers. So this kind of mental conversation has to stop. That can stop with time and intention, and definitely pausing and breathing slowly. That is very, very important.
Okay.
Because the breath plays a lot of, it has a lot of role in how our mind works, right?
Okay.
So if we are intentional and if we want to become more open and active listeners, we have to work on our breathing.
Okay. So working on our breathing, we're actually, kind of finishing our time limit for Thursday. I think, Jeyashree, we'll have to do more topics on this.
Okay.
So hopefully we should be doing more sessions and we have interactive audience for us. So to, close this session, the final question,
Okay.
what gives you hope when you think about the future of inclusive education and care?
Okay. I am very, very hopeful, very positive, because over the last 20 years in my professional journey, I have seen a huge surf-like changes, not small waves, surf changes I've seen.
Wow.
Because when I graduated in 2002, I did not learn about autism myself. As a physiotherapist, I did not learn about autism at all. I didn't know what is autism, what is meant by ADHD, learning disabilities. I didn't know that. But I understand a conventional physiotherapist, these things are not in their purview. They're more about pains, muscles, joints, joint pain. That is the way it is. But when we move into pediatrics, when we move into a specialization called pediatric physiotherapy, then we come across all these aspects of neurodevelopment. But having said that, from 2002 to 2026, the kind of changes that I see today is amazing. And many professionals are willingly getting into this zone. There are many professionals who are getting into these fields of special education, pediatric physiotherapy, pediatric occupational therapy, speech therapy. So to just tell you, child development and rehab for children requires multitude of professionals. We need an occupational therapist, we need a physiotherapist, we need a speech therapist, we need special educators, psychologists, we need prosthetics and orthotists. Okay, maybe we can also have a session on what does a multidisciplinary team mean. Why? Because this rich team will be able to meet all the needs of the child, not by giving them direct support, but by creating an environment in which they can survive, in which they can be happy, they can learn joyfully. Actually, all these neurodiverse conditions.
And a beautiful environment.
Yeah. An understanding, sensitive environment with necessary accommodations.
Okay.
An understanding, sensitive environment which does not demean any child, which does not actually call them various names, like you're lazy, you're distracted, you're always like this, you don't want to do work. So remove all this. Give an environment which is understanding, which is sensitive, with necessary accommodations. Where if the child is struggling to read, so how can we help this child? What other ways of making this child do work? If the child is not able to write, what? If the child is not able to sit in the class on a chair, what can we do about it? So the accommodations are required, and understanding sensitive environment is required. If this is given, children will learn joyfully, will belong more in the society, and they will contribute so much that they have proper self-esteem as they grow. So
Wonderful.
It's a long journey.
Long journey. Okay.
Yeah.
So, quick feedback about today's session. So, one word from each of you on what was this last 1 hour about?
Thought-provoking.
It was
Okay,
very
thank
insightful. It was good to know ma'am's how her journey began, and this I could see her, the width and depth of her involvement in this, and I would like to meet her up,
Yes.
if I get a chance, and discuss more about theatre arts
Yeah.
and how that can help.
We had so much in mind that we had to talk today, but I think discussion was so enriching that we were not able to speak about other areas, like what is arts-based therapy going to do in this? What is drama therapy going to do in this? We did not even
Arts
touch
therapy and
there.
drama therapy. Actually, that is the reason why I enrolled for this today, to
Okay.
learn more about art therapy and drama therapy. So
I think we should do
yeah,
this as a separate topic, Jeyashree.
Yeah, we
sure.
can.
Sure.
Okay. So, Kamini, your thoughts and
Ma'am, you are in Delhi, ma'am, or from which place you are
Gurgaon.
attending this? In Gurgaon. Okay, fine. I'm in Gurgaon too.
Always insightful. Whenever I'm with Jeyashree ma'am, so I'm an ocean.
Thank you for joining, Kamini.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my pleasure.
All right.
Always will be with you.
So thank you, everybody, and hope to meet all of us back very soon
Sure.
with more enriching information and a learning discussion with Jeyashree. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you. Thank you,
Aparajita.
Aparajita, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jeyashree ma'am. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Take care.